All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick. As always, you guys can call me Touch Ninja, and today we have another Pokemon Go Battle League video. So this set was the one that I talked about at the end of the last video, where I go extremely well, the best you possibly can go. And the reason why I did it is because, first off, I used a super meta team, and as well, I won lead a lot of the times. So that's probably gonna be the focus of this video. So Kyogre versus my Dialga, that is a super positive lead for me. The only way he wins this is if some reason he hits me with a Blizzard. He swaps into his own Dialga. I farm down a tiny bit, and then I swapped into my Melmetal, and this is once again a very positive matchup. I resist all the attacks. I actually think this is a Thunder. If you're running a Dialga, don't use Thunder. I'm sorry, but like, I found that I've never been, when I tried experimenting with it a tiny bit, but the Thunder, like, you should win the Kyogre matchup in most cases anyways. So I prefer to have the Draco Meteor just to be able to one-shot the majority of Pokemon in a neutral matchup. And sometimes you need to race another Dialga to a charge move to win the straight-up mirror match. So generally, I try to stick with Draco Meteor myself. It does debuff you a bit, so usually when you throw it, it's either end game, where it's the final move, or someone has swapped in, you throw it, so they have the shield, or they'll basically get destroyed. So like I said, this is a super meta team, leading off with the best buddy Dialga, followed by a Melmetal, and then in my back I have Giratina Origins. So this team is, like I said, been used since preseason. It's super effective. It was super effective then, and it's still super effective to this day, so long as you kind of get the right matchup. And that's kind of like the theme of this video. So when I was starting, I haven't always been playing Go Battle League. For the first year when I started playing Pokemon Go, I wasn't really into battling just because there really wasn't a reward to it. But when they introduced online battling, I really got into it, and I was really bad at it. So I did what everyone does in 2020 is when they want to learn something, I jumped on YouTube and tried to find some people who can kind of give me some tips and tricks of how to approach things and how to think about the game and how to approach different situations in the game. So what you find is, though, when you watch a lot of content creators, a lot of times they need to kind of keep things fresh. They need to showcase more spicier teams, like with different Pokemon that have very specific roles. Whereas I would say the best thing to do if you're playing Go Battle League is to choose a team that you're consistent with, that you're very comfortable with, and just stick with it. Go through the highs, go through the lows, and by the end of the season, everything will average out, and you'll be in between, and everything basically where you're at will be determined by your skill level. The issue of constantly jumping back and forth between teams is, first off, it's really expensive in terms of in-game material. I do not want to tell you the amount of Stardust I have wasted and different candies I've wasted just powering up these super niche spicy Pokemon. And I'll be honest, I don't use them anymore. They kind of just sit in my storage box not being used. I still fall, when I need to be consistent, I still fall back on what I know and what I am used to using. And the thing is, when you really get your head around a team, you instinctively know what the matchups are going to be. So when you lead into a Pokemon and they respond, you know exactly how ahead of time how the match is going to play out in your head. Whereas if you're constantly rotating your team and constantly having to readjust your team altogether, you get slowed down a bit because you don't know instinctively what you should be doing. You don't know if I should throw here or if I should shield here. What are they going to have the back to kind of respond to what I have in the back? So that's probably the biggest suggestion that I have to you guys if you're playing Go Battle League. Find a team. It could be the super most meta team like I'm using right now. Really get your head around it, be consistent with it, and kind of just live through those highs and lows. And by the end, everything will equal out. Don't try to like basically reinvent the wheel of exactly what you're gonna be doing, especially if you're just starting to play out again. If you're like a super high battler and you're noticing trends that a lot of people are using, then you can kind of just reinvent the wheel and kind of try new things just to stay ahead of the curve. But if you're kind of just starting out, just use meta stuff. Be consistent with it, learn your team, and that's what's going to make you successful. So That's enough of kind of like the theme of this video. So I'm going to throw my Shadow Ball here against this Dialga. It'll do over half damage to it. Oh, just about half. And I'm going to swap over to my personal Melmetal, and he actually looks like he swaps over to his Melmetal. So in this situation, in a Melmetal mirror match, whoever throws first is usually the person and the team that loses. Just because Superpower has the ability to, it's powerful, as the name implies, it's super powerful. But what happens is when you do throw it, you get debuffed both by your attack and your defense. So if you're the first Pokemon that throws, especially if you throw 2 in a row like I did right there, I'm super debuffed, but at the same time, he's still gonna need to throw 2 superpowers. And this is my first time rewatching this video. What I'm going to assume is I'm gonna lose here, and then I'm gonna beat the Dialga to my next Shadow Ball before he can get to his Draco Meteor, if he has it. An Iron Head won't KO me. Actually, no, an Iron Head would have KO'd me from there. I was just fortunate that I had enough energy to beat him to his charge move, and that's how we win this game. So, yeah, so good game. So all these Pokemon are all legendaries. They're super expensive. This is Open Master League, meaning that you can use anything that you want. But the main issue is, like I said, everything's expensive. And a lot of these Pokemons I had to get through lucky trades because I wasn't around when they were in raids the very first time. So it took a while to... Like I went through I think 8 to 10 Dialga trades before I got a decent one, and my first decent one was actually the best one. So very fortunate. I caught a wild Meltan because I had Let's Go Pikachu, and once again the Giratina was a trade. So Dialga into Dialga. So in this matchup, whoever throws the first charge move is going to lose. In the farm down system, because you throwing allows the other team person to get ahead on energy. It's basically how the game goes. So what you'll see is here, I'll throw, and then he's literally just going to farm me down the rest of the way. So what I should have done here is I should have thrown and then swapped out because he's ahead of energy now, even though mine is best buddy. Yeah. The best situation there, just throw. This is my I've been playing Premier League for so long, it's something that I just honestly forgot. But I did get a shield out of it. He wins switch advantage, but his Dialga is super low. Ideally, probably I would have brought in I'm gonna have to block this Draco Meteor anyways because he was farming down for days, and it would have definitely knocked me out. So he's gonna bring in his own Giratina, and fortunately for me, I got ahead on energy, got a little bit of lag right here. Actually, a bit of lag. I'm actually very surprised that I'm gonna win this match because I'm gonna have to use this Shadow Ball. I bait here with my own Ominous Wind, hoping that he's going to use his last shield, and if he does shield, that means and he doesn't shield. Okay, he doesn't shield and he switches over. So this is still a decent position for myself because none of the attacks that Melmetal throws are super effective. He's actually using the exact same team as me. As you can see, like I said, the most meta team out there. So I don't want to swap into my own Melmetal because he has a shield and he has energy advantage because he swapped in his first. So basically he's going to be throwing Rock Slides because the superpowers would be double resisted, and I need to just throw something. Most likely it's going to be an Ominous Wind, hoping that I'm going to get the last shield, and we'll see here. So I throw the Ominous Wind, and I'm almost betting that he's going to shield this last one. And then I'm probably going to swap into my own Melmetal after building up. Oh, no. I'm able to get to another Ominous Wind. Okay, so that was my strategy here. This is my first time rewatching this gameplay for the first time. So, yeah. So now his is knocked down. His Giratina has no health left. And that's how we win this matchup. I made a mistake at the very beginning of the game, but I was able to kind of play around that and correct itself. And as you can see, this game was played very early in the morning at 3 a.m. So I instinctively press Premier Cup now just because I was playing Premier Cup for so long. The worst feeling is when you enter the Master League with a Premier Cup league. I've done it too many times. So we're at rank 8 here in the mid 2400s. I actually have, this is another positive lead, I actually have a second account that I hit 2700 with yesterday. So if I'm going to hit rank 10, most likely that's going to be on that account. But they have adjusted how the point system has been drawn out just a tiny bit. So you get a lot more points now. So who knows? I'm going to bait here first with this rock slide, hoping that I'm going to get a shield out of it. Because if he blocks my first superpower, I still get a debuff. And I don't want that. And now he's either forced to do another shield and expend all his shields, or just kind of let this through. And I'm most likely going to assume that he double blocks. He goes for the double block. Okay. All right, I wouldn't have done that. I still have 3 very healthy Pokemon. You do not want to use all your shields in that situation. This is probably Draco, my guess. No, I wasn't counting there, but I was just so surprised that he used the shield there. So I'm gonna go for another superpower. This will only be another. Oh, this is a Thunder. Okay, so if I'm debuffed multiple times, then I guess a Thunder is working for you. But I don't recommend using Thunder, just because I personally have never had that much success using it. What you want Draco Meteor for is being able to completely nuke another team when shields are down. That way, and as well, you can. That's in a no shield situation. Basically, Dialga kind of plays how like Metagross plays in the Premier League. Basically, whoever gets to the Earthquake first is gonna win. So sometimes you want to preemptively swap even if you're in an advantageous situation, just so you can get ahead on energy. So he has no shields, just throw down Shadow Balls spam. Literally nothing he can do because he expended all his shields at the beginning. I most likely could have gotten to another Shadow Ball here, but it doesn't really matter. Ominous Wind, he can't. The Rock Slide doesn't do that much damage, and Ominous Wind still. This shouldn't KO him. Oh, never mind. It does KO him. And I got the buff. And I had a Draco Meteor primed up on my Dialga. So the buff was basically insult to injury just to kind of stick it in. And I also had a shield buff. So, yeah. Anyways, next battle. Let's see. Yeah, man. Hundo Dialga. Dialga is definitely the best Pokemon overall in Pokemon Go. It's almost essential to play Master League with it. And with the amount of Dragon Pokemon there are in PvE, in raids and such, being able to dish out super effective Dragon damage but not take super effective Dragon damage is like honestly fantastic. So this is a positive lead, even though the Mewtwo does have nuke potential because he can one-shot a Dialga with its Focus Blast. So what all players do is they will always build to a Focus Blast, and most likely they're just gonna bait with a Psy Strike. Not many people are using Shadow Ball these days just because the Master League is so prevalent on Steel Pokemon that having the ability to basically one-shot any Pokemon is fantastic. And Mewtwo, even though it's kind of squishy, has such high attack power, even resisted Psy Strikes still do a decent amount of damage to a Dialga. But there's the Focus Blast that I was talking about. And then now he's going to swap into his own Dialga. I'm going to farm it down just a bit and then swap into my own Melmetal. And right now I'm going to build up to 2. And then I'm probably going to fake. Oh, no, I go for it. I just go for it. See, like, how a match plays out based on what attacks you want to do is always different. I honestly I think he thought that he was. It's like a mind game, man. He thought I was gonna do this. He does Draco Meteor me, which is fine. It doesn't KO. I can still maintain switch advantage if I'm able to knock it out. And he's basically been completely debuffed and nerfed. So even a resisted rock slide will knock him out. So we have a Zekrom in the back. I don't want him to farm any more energy. I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do here. So I think I'm probably going to swap to my... Yeah, I swapped in here to fake that I was going to throw the Draco Meteor because I was building up so much. And then I'm probably going to just stay in it. Just stay in it. Oh, I'm just going to go all the way down to Iron Head, let him KO me, and then I'm just going to finish him off with my Giratina. So maybe I should watch these videos so how I can better explain my thought process to your guys. But yeah, now the only thing he can do is throw a Thunder and a Crunch. It takes him a while to get to both those moves. Zekrom hits really hard, but he's slow to his charge moves. The typical moveset of Crunch and he can either do Crunch, Outrage, or Wild Charge. Wild Charge is an absolute crazy attack, but I should have been still fine there. I wasn't 100% sure what he was rocking. Was that the 5th match? Is that it? Yeah, it was. So that was the set. There wasn't really much I can talk to you guys about that hasn't been really talked about this team. So like I said earlier, be consistent with what you're using, and that overall is gonna be the thing that leads you to consistent success in Go Battle League. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. As always, you enjoyed, thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. All right, as always, have a fantastic day.